Today we'll be learning about the different crab species in southwest Florida. The star of this lesson is the Florida stone crab. Its cousin, the Gulf stone crab, is located further north and is dark in color to hide amongst the mud. The Florida stone crab is lighter in color with spots to be well camouflaged amongst our local seagrass beds.
The stone crab's carapace, or top part of its shell, averages 5 to 6 inches in length and up to 5 inches wide. They are brownish red with gray spots and a tan underside. They have 2 large claws of unequal size. The females have a larger carapace than the males, and the males have larger claws than the females. Their thick roundish shell is how they got their name stone crab. They have one larger claw, as you can see on the left, known as the crusher claw, which can exert a force of 19,000 pounds per square inch. This claw is used to break open the thick shells of things like oysters. The claw on the right, the smaller one, is known as the pincher claw. It uses this claw to shred the meat after the mollusk is opened. Most crabs have 8 legs, like the stone crab. Stone crabs don't have the rear swimmer legs, so they are limited to crawling along the sea floor. Their eyes are on stalks, so they can see 360 degrees around them.
They have 2 claws. One's a pincher claw, one is a crusher claw. The crusher claw can exert unbelievable amounts of pressure.
They are opportunistic carnivores, but occasionally feed on plant material. As adults, they will eat oysters, clams, and other small mollusks, worms, and other crustaceans. Estuaries and nearshore habitats are ideal for all stages of the stone crab's life in southwest Florida. Spawning season is typically from April through September. Females produce 500,000 to 1 million eggs. Eggs hatch within 2 weeks, and the larvae go through 6 stages before emerging as juvenile crabs. Juveniles will hide in cracks beneath rocks and shells. As adults, they will dig and live in burrows often found in the seagrass beds.
They eat clams, oysters. They just use that claw and just bust right through the oyster and then use the pincher claw to pull the meat out. And these females will lay millions of eggs every season.
Stone crab harvesting is a 7-month season that goes from October 15th to May 15th. In harvesting season in 2009, 2.6 million pounds of stone crab claws were landed with an estimated value of $17 million. Fishermen set wooden traps along the seafloor and bait them. A lot of Florida commercial crab fishermen use pig feet as the bait. Harvesting season will also have between 3,000 to 7,000 traps. The claw must be 2 3/4 inches for them to keep. If both claws are of size, they can both be harvested. A crab with one claw harvested has about a 75% chance of survival. A crab with both of its claws harvested has about a 50% chance of survival. The claw will regenerate within a year to a year and a half. It is important that all fishermen follow the rules so that the stone crab population stays healthy and stable.
That's 2 1/4 inches. Just the claw itself has to be before you harvest it. So what they do is if the claw is of size, they'll break it off at a little diaphragm at the base here where the crab doesn't bleed out, and they throw the crab back. Within a year and a half, they'll grow a new claw. So they never kill the crab. It's a fairly sustainable fishery. It has very, very little meat in the body. They just take the claws off.
Stone crabs are important to other species as well. They're an important food source to other animals, including grouper, horse conch, cobia, sea turtles, and octopuses. The burrow that the adult stone crab makes is also a great home for dozens of other marine invertebrates and small fishes. Now let's take a look at some other crabs that are in Florida. There's the mangrove crab, which is much smaller than the stone crab, and it can be seen running along the branches and roots of the mangrove trees. Here's a couple on this red mangrove tree root. They camouflage very well on top of the roots. James is going to help us get a closer look at this small mangrove crab. There's also blue crabs, named for their bright blue claws. They have paddles on their rear legs which make them excellent swimmers. Blue crabs love the estuaries where fresh water meets the salt ocean.
Look at that, that's amazing. Look how beautiful the blue is.
And it's a soft shell, so it's just
Soft-shell
recently
blue
molted.
crab. Yep.
You can see in these photos just how bright blue their claws are. Sometimes we even see ghost crabs, also known as sand crabs. Its shell is the same color as the sand, allowing them to hide from predators. They are responsible for most of the holes that we see in the sand at the beach. This is the calico crab. Its brightly colored spots help it blend in with its surroundings when it's in its habitat. I hope you enjoyed this crab lesson and learned a lot about stone crabs and other types of Florida crabs.